All right, we got Vikings versus the Commanders. Maybe Jaden
What a
Daniels
game.
will
What
be
a game.
back.
Let's go.
Mariota, baby.
Maybe it'll be the return of Jaden Daniels. Maybe it'll be the return of the great JJ McCarthy. You never know. We'll see. He's practicing. It looks like he's gonna play. It's Jaden Daniels that's questionable. Bass, we'll rotate it right back to you. Vikings versus the Commanders, 1 p.m. Eastern. Who do you have winning this game?
Yeah, it's a great quarterback battle we've all been waiting for, Mariota, JJ, 9, whatever you want to call him. Hopefully it's not Brosmer. I know JJ I don't think he's cleared protocol, but they say he's pretty much like,
yeah, he's playing.
Expect him to play. Playing. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say hopefully not Brosmer. I guess for my case, hopefully, but it's not gonna be. It's gonna be JJ. Neither team's playing for much. But at the same time, I still think both teams can get some success here, but I don't know really what I'm going to be watching for. Honestly, I'm not going to watch this one. Minnesota's at home, so you know what, one bar, I'm going to give you guys a win, but it's going to be all field goals, 12-9. That's it.
Oh God, what a game! What a game!
12-9.
That's 12 more points than we scored last week, baby. I'll take that all day, babe. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. Bass's score predictions this year have been absolutely hilarious all the way through. I'm glad you brought this one back. That's fantastic. Tony, Vikings versus the Commanders, 1 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. How do you see this one going down?
My full notes was this is a gross game. Sorry. I do think Marcus Mariota kind of used all the juice he had left in that game against the Broncos. That was an awesome game, by the way. But I do not think he's gonna get it up the same way for the Vikings. I do think you guys sneak this one out. I think it's 17-9, still definitely low scoring, not exactly a barn burner of a game, but I think you guys got this. I think the Commanders stink. I really think that was just an anomaly against the Broncos. So congrats to your Vikings, I guess.
Thank you. I needed that. I really appreciate that. I feel like I should give a speech.
All right, one bar, talk to me. Vikings versus the Commanders, 1 p.m. Eastern. Please tell me the Vikings can squeak out a win here.
I mean, I don't even know if this is this even on television? Is it just going to be on radio? Tony nailed it. Gross game. Washington, they lost 7 in a row. Vikings have lost 6 of the last 7. Jaden Daniels doesn't sound like he's going to play. JJ McCarthy is back. If there's any game, like when you look at the Viking schedule, this is just looking at a high level, this is the game that they could win. This might be their final win and only win of the season as we wrap it up. I mean, Washington offensively, this is their moment. Washington gives up a ton of yards on the ground, through the air. They're not a very good team. Like JJ McCarthy, if you're going to show anything, this is the game. Washington's given up 300 plus yards the last 3 games in the air. And they don't even get to the quarterback that much. I think they're on the lower half in the league as far as sacking the quarterback. I mean, defensively, like I said earlier, defense is going to be fine. It's just a matter of if the Vikings can put any sort of points on the scoreboard. And while a win would be wonderful, there's a lot of Vikings fans just saying, you know what, lose out, get that draft pick. Just do not win another game. I'm never on that board at all. Get the dubs. Who cares? Wherever you draft, you draft. But the other thing is, maybe try get some other players in the field at this point. We drafted a Ty Felton in round 3. Get some other players in the mix. Start looking at actually next year. It's sad to say at this point in the season with 5 games left, but start seeing what you have. I mean, there's a lot of free agents that the Vikings are going to be moving on from. There's a lot of guys they're just going to be moving on from in general. So get those guys on the field. And on the other thing is just make sure nobody's checking out. KOC, if he can't do anything against this Washington defense, man, if they lose at home against Washington, poof. Then the chirps will start coming and they will be very valid. But I do think the Vikings win. It won't be pretty. I don't think there's going to be a pretty game left. I got the Vikings 20-17.
Man, I forgot you guys drafted Ty Felton. I really like Ty Felton coming out. It sounds like Vikings you guys can trade. Yeah, I know. It sounds like you guys could trade JJ McCarthy now. You guys should be fine. I mean, Justin Jefferson. You guys should be fine. You got Ty Felton waiting there in wings there, so you're good to go.
Ty Felton, man.
Try to remind me. I've got a question for you pertaining to KOC that I forgot to ask in the last segment, but I'll wait until these picks are done here. All right, let's talk about the matchup of the week. Bears versus the Packers, 4:25 p.m. Eastern. You gotta love this time slot. I believe it might have been flex, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, we got a hell of a matchup on our hands. I cannot wait for this. As Nick would say, of course it's in Lambeau Field because the Packers never don't have a home game. Here we are once again. One bar, I'm going to spin it back to you since you're not involved in the game. Bears at Packers, 4:25 p.m. Eastern. Who do you have winning this game?
Yeah, man, you don't have a pulse if you're not excited for this game. I'm so stoked for this game. I'm expecting a lot of yards on the ground from both teams. And watching that Bears last week, watching what they were doing on the ground, and then you got your big boy missing Baz on the defensive line. It's going to be a damn good game. And like what I hope it comes down to, like it's going to come down to the quarterbacks in my mind. Like if you're a Bears fan, what better story? Like the Bears are on the map this year. You can say that. And what better story than Caleb Williams to go into Lambeau and get a dub when it comes down to the I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it'd be a beautiful Disney movie someday. Caleb Williams goes in and gets the win in Lambeau and separates a little bit more from the Packers. It would be great. But I am drinking the Bears Kool-Aid. I really am. I mean, they're playing good. I do think the Bears and Packers split the rest of the season, but I got the Packers at home. I think the Packers do end up getting the dub. I think Ben Johnson pulling his milkers out after that game in the locker room last week jinxed them. You shouldn't have done that, man. You got to leave those milkers covered up. I appreciate the excitement, but that jinxed them, man. The Bears will get them next time, but I got the Packers 24-21.
Well, take it from one bar. Keep the milkers put away after a win. Well, listen, the Bears are the number 1 seed right now in the NFC, which is absolutely crazy. They're going to have to win to keep that going. If they don't, maybe the Packers can sneak back into the number 1 seed. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out here. But Bass, talk to me. Your team's at home, man. You know this matchup's for real. I know that you're taking the Bears very, very seriously after the way that they just beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Both of you have a little bit more rest than normal. One of you played on Thursday. Obviously, the Bears played on Friday. So both teams well rested at this point. So there are no excuses, man. Talk to me about who wins this game.
Yeah, like I said, obviously the next 3 weeks are going to decide the NFC North. And like you said, could even decide overall the NFC outlook and seeding and whatnot. If one of these teams sweeps the other team, then they could very well end up being that number 1 seed in the NFC. You know, like you said, both teams are playing really, really good right now. The Bears are clicking on offense. It seems like Ben Johnson has fully, gotten to the identity that we saw last year with the Lions, where you have 2 running backs and you're like, which one are you going to try to stop, because the other one's going to tear you up as well. Jordan Love and this offense is clicking. Matt LaFleur seemingly got his identity back. So I think it's all shaping up to be a really good game for both teams. Now, I do have a couple notes here. That the Bears defense, as good as it's been very reliant on turnovers, and that's fine. You can't remove that. They have created those turnovers. You have guys like Kevin Byard just revitalizing his career. You have other players like, is it Nashawn Wright, coming out of nowhere, getting some interceptions this year. So, you don't get rid of that. But I do look at it from a standpoint that, hey, the Packers have been protecting the ball very, very well as of late. Like Jordan Love has thrown 3 interceptions on the year, as much as the media might want to portray that he always throws interceptions when he's literally thrown the least in the NFC North. 19 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. He hasn't thrown one in 5 weeks. So Jordan Love has been really good at protecting the football. Fumbles are another thing. We have had some fumbles earlier in the year, cleaned it up as of late. But again, the Bears defense, they're really relying on turnovers, and I think the Packers do a really good job at protecting the football. Another thing I have written down is in my opinion, the Bears are a bottom of the league run defense. When you look at them statistically, in terms of yards per game, they're bottom 5. And then when you look at some advanced analytics, they're 26 in the league or worse in all of these categories. Rush success rate, they're 27th in terms of a defensive standpoint. Stuff run percentage, they're 26. Yards before contact, they're 32nd. And run stop win rate, they're 26. And one thing that the Packers have done really well as of late is starting to get some continuity, get some consistency on the interior offensive line, where earlier in the year, it looked like a train wreck. You had multiple guys playing out of position, Elton Jenkins at center, Jordan Morgan at guard. Now it's like, okay, we've got Sean Ryan on the inside at center. He's been playing some better ball. Aaron Banks is finally healthy. So he's having some, consistency down at the left guard spot. And then, like I said earlier, Anthony Belton plugging in at right guard, and how good Zach Tom and Rasheed Walker, you don't even got to talk about those guys because they're just, you always expect them to come in and play some good ball at the tackle spot. So I think the Packers are going to find success on the ground. Now, I do think, as good as the Bears have been in the running attack, I think the Packers on the flip side have a top 15 run defense. And I know we're losing Devontae Wyatt, but here's the thing. Yeah, sure, he helps our run defense. He definitely does. But he's a 3-tech pass rushing defensive lineman. Our nose tackle has been Colby Wooden, and our main success of our run game has been at the hands of our linebackers playing downhill. And Javon Bullard at nickel, or Evan Williams, Xavier McKinney playing downhill, sideline to sideline speed of Quay Walker, Edgerrin Cooper, Isaiah McDuffie taking a step up this year, playing really good against the run. And in my opinion, the Packers have a top 15 run defense in terms of stuffed run percentage. They're 13th, yards before contact, they're 12th, and run stop win rate, they are 12th as well. And I think the Packers offensive line is on a hot streak. Bears are 31st in pressure rate. I think we're going to be able to protect Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love has been the best quarterback when clean in the NFL this year. When you look at the stats, it's absolutely ridiculous. And like I said, I think we're going to protect the football. If Jordan Love protects the football, I think the Packers come away with this one, because the Bears, they're 6-0 on 2+ turnovers, and all 3 losses are a quarterback has thrown 1 interception or less, and 2 of them they throw 0. And we might be getting Jaden Reed back. Maybe Matthew Golden returns. There's a lot of players returning for both teams here. But overall, I could see the Packers splitting the Bears, but if they're going to win one, I think it's going to be this one in Green Bay. So I got the Packers 31-26.
Oh, Freudian slip there at the end. Uh-oh. Is that the real score prediction? He just doesn't want to let it out. No, I'm just joking. Listen, great analysis, Bass. I really appreciate it. This game's going to be a great game to watch. Cannot wait for it. All right, Tony, talk to me, man. I know you like what Bass had to say. You yourself did say that you think they're going to split with the Packers. So does that mean that this is the one that they drop, or is this the one that they win? Talk to me.
That's a great question. I didn't actually think that through when I said it. It was more of like, I'm just gonna say this. It'll be nice. I'm obviously gonna pick the Bears both games, but right now I'm picking this one.
I love it.
So we're going. Okay, I'm going vibes first, and then we'll go stats. So first, Bears Packers at Lambeau. Sun setting at 4:11 p.m. I looked that up. 4:11. That is so early. The Midwest is frozen solid right now. We're draped in snow. First place in the NFC North on the line. I mean, not to be corny and use this line, but I literally used to pray for times like this. Like, it is all my dreams, well, potentially nightmares, but all my dreams coming true right now. All right, so we'll get into the stats. So some of the big stats that jumped out to me, the Bears have like Bass was mentioning, definitely turnover heavy defense. So they have a +17 turnover differential. The next closest teams are at +9. So they are absolutely crushing in turnovers this year. Classic Bears defense. However, Bass is also right that the Packers, they've only turned the ball over on 5.9% of their possessions. That's second best in the league. That's pretty good. So we got a defense that forces 1+ turnover versus an offense that's more likely to have a game canceled due to snow than turn it over. It's crazy. Real hot take coming in here, though. The Bears are going to have to win this turnover battle. I know it's obvious, but we have to stay consistent with winning the turnover battle. That's how you're going to win at Lambeau Field against the Packers. The Packers have converted a league high 49.3% of their third downs. We got to get off the field. You have to get off the field when you have a chance. You cannot give the Packers extra downs. It has been the biggest problem in my entire life as a Bears fan, is the Bears cannot get off the field against the Packers. Aaron Rodgers, you name it. They just kill us on third down. Get off the field. Get your offense on. Even if, a couple plays on offense, whatever, just get a break. That's all you need. And then lastly, for the defense, at least force Jordan Love into those uncomfortable throwing positions. I know our pressure rate is not good. Montez Sweat, you got to start earning your contract. He's been better. I don't want to rag on him too hard, but we really got to get some pressure on Jordan Love. Don't get beat over the top, and keep that mentality of 6 or 7 guys to the ball carrier. Play NFC North, cold weather, old school defense. Nothing easy. Make them feel it. And then offensively, so since their Week 5 bye, the Bears are second in the NFL in EPA as a rushing offense with 21.8. So we got to punish them in the ground game. The elephants on parade, just keep running the ball. Green Bay does allow only 1.47 points per drive at home. It's 5th in the league. It's pretty good. We do have to finish our drives. We have seen so many promising 7-minute drives, just absolutely sucking the clock, and then we stall out in the red zone. We got to convert. We got to put points on the board. I'll sit up a little higher here. I realize I'm cut off. My apologies, everyone. The Bears lead the league in plays of 10 or more yards per game at 14.4. Big plays open up everything from the ground game to just those little checkdowns. Make them think, make them worry. Bears cover and win outright, 27-23. Good, better, best. Never let it rest. Bear down.
Let's hear from our sponsor real quick. Sleeper, you can get a 100% deposit match. Win using promo code RTS of up to $100. Link is pinned to the top of the description. Just for the sake of time, while we were backstage, I went ahead and made the picks. We got a freebie in Dak Prescott. So we got the Thursday night football game here. We took our freebie in Dak Prescott. He just has to get a passing yard. I feel pretty good about that. Brandon Aubrey, I got him at making more than 1.5 field goals. Chances are he'll boot a 60-yarder in the half or something like that. So that'll get us one. And then Jared Goff, I'm going to fade him. I'm going less than 251.5, but I am taking Jahmyr Gibbs to get more on 72.5. That one is $10, pays out $71.80. Sleeper is the fastest growing fantasy football app. You also can have skin in the game, so you can tail us, you can fade us, but make sure either way you use promo code RTS.
Roundtable Sports Network is your one-stop shop for all things NFL, with daily live shows covering all 8 divisions in the league, hosted by the best content creators on the web, all on one network. Catch the AFC East live every Monday at 7 p.m. and on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. The AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. The AFC North Roundtable live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. The AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. The NFC East Roundtable live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. The NFC West Roundtable live at 9 p.m. on Tuesday nights. The NFC North Roundtable is at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays, and the NFC South Roundtable is live Tuesdays at 8 p.m. EST. And of course, fourth and forever, the flagship show of Roundtable Sports Network covering all things NFL at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel. Real coverage, real fans.